Good morning, everybody. It's that time of the week again for the RDA Central West Business Leaders Breakfast, and I'm really excited that you're joining us this morning because I'm sitting down with Amy Vanderven, the franchisee of Quest Orange. Good morning and welcome to breakfast.
Thank you so much for having me, Sam.
No, I'm excited, Amy. You've got a fantastic story, and it'll be great to learn for our people tuning in this morning and those listening in on the podcast to learn a little bit more about what brought you to Orange and the Quest Orange story. I believe in 2019, Amy, you became the youngest franchisee in Quest history, but can you tell us, I guess, what led you to a career with Quest and what led you to Orange?
Absolutely. So, 2019 saw me open my first business, Quest Orange. I was 27 at the time when we opened our doors, so it was a very, very exciting time in my career path. But I literally finished high school on a Friday, and on that Monday I had a full-time job with another hotel chain. And then when I was 21, I made the jump over to Quest Wodonga, which is a 80-room hotel in Victoria on the border of Albury-Wodonga there. And I guess from then on, I fell in love with the brand, I fell in love with the people I was working with, and knew that Quest really matched my values as well, both personally and professionally. And I saw that there was an opportunity that I could purchase one of these businesses, and I thought, how fantastic. I've got a love for the hospitality industry, I've got a love for people, I'm creative, I love rolling up and getting my sleeves dirty and helping the team, so that when there was an opportunity to look at getting into my own franchise, Quest put out every year all the different opportunities, and Orange was one of the ones that was flagged as an opportunity in the pipeline that it was going to be constructed. And so I started travelling up here and doing my due diligence on whether I could make this business work, and felt like I could tick that box and make the business work. And then it was just up for, could I see myself living here, and what did life for Amy look like relocating here?
And what was the final thing that tipped you over the edge for the proposition for Orange?
I grew up in a small regional community, and Orange really mirrored that. I knew how to do business in a regional community, I knew how to build those relationships, so I guess that's probably what got me over the line. Once I started meeting the people of this community, I was like, I can't see myself ever being anywhere else.
Well, and I guess my question then is, it's a big leap to start your own business, take it on as a young woman progressing through your sector, but what drove you for your passion, I guess, for the travel and the accommodation sector? When did you know that's the sector I want to work in?
I love people. I love people, that the guests that I have the pleasure of welcoming through my doors, but I also love getting to work with wonderful people every day. So I have a team of 20 people here, and every single one of them brings an amazing skill set and attributes to the business. And I guess I also have a really big passion in creating really wonderful customer experiences and memorable experiences. So everyone that comes through my door, I don't know what's brought them here. Quite often I will if they're here for work or a wedding or something, but I just think it's wonderful that I have an opportunity to be a part of their day and create an experience for them while their time is with me.
And I guess if they've had a good experience, they're more likely to come back and stay with you again in the future.
Exactly.
Now, we talked off here before we started this morning that you started here at Quest in 2019, coming out of the back end of the drought, then the bushfires, and then COVID. Tell our viewers this morning how, as a new business owner, were you able to weather those ups and downs? And I guess second part of that question is, what did you learn about yourself and your leadership style during that tough period?
Yeah, I tell you what, not purchasing this business and within the first 4 months going through the bushfires, and then on March 13th having a world travel ban, I was certainly having hot sweats at night time. But I learned a lot about myself, and I think I was also fortunate to have experienced something like this, because I think the business person that I am today is because I've had those trying and really tough times that I went through in 2020. Certainly from the business perspective, it was always staying open-minded and how I can make this work. We've all got bills to pay. I had staff that I was desperately wanting to keep employed. You were hearing so many stories globally around people losing absolutely everything, and my mindset just had to stay so focused on what my goal was, and I guess just getting really creatively. I mentioned to you before, I was I'd heard that hotels in Melbourne were looking after if someone had given birth and they were in a stable condition, they were being relocated into hotels to free up beds. So I contacted the hospital and said, could I turn a whole floor of this hotel into a nurse's station and a ward of a hospital for non-critical patients? I was just, and we never had to go down that path, but I was just getting creative with how I've got beds, how can I have these filled?
And I guess that's been a common thread through a lot of these business breakfasts last year and this year has been the need for businesses to adapt and pivot. It's been the buzzword of 2020 and I think it's going to penetrate its way into 2021. But I guess that was, I think March 13th was the date that the travel bans were announced. But can you tell our viewers this morning, how have things turned around in the last, say, 6 months or so? And can you kind of quantify, I guess, some of those numbers around that domestic tourism and occupancy for your business here?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people weren't able to prioritise overseas travel anymore. So as soon as that June long weekend happened and we were able to have a leisure business returning through our doors, we definitely saw our numbers peak and our occupancy spike quite dramatically, which was really wonderful to see. Obviously, coming off the back of 3 or 4 very quiet months, it was imperative for me that I knew that my team felt safe returning here, but I also was creating a space where we had our processes and procedures in place for when we were beginning to welcome those guests back. They hadn't travelled for 4 or 5 months. There was a fear of what life is going to be like and what travel is going to be like. We're very, very fortunate to have a wonderful tourism body here, being Orange 360, and their Extend the Weekend campaign that was launched in 2019, I feel like really flowed into 2020. And then being part of the Quest brand, Quest were really, it's the best marketing campaign I've ever seen Quest do, which is our On the Road campaign, where they have been encouraging Australians to get back on the road and travel regionally and into cities if that was possible. So we've had many influencers staying with us that it's all been promoted on social media and creating a platform where people can envision themselves with their families travelling into these communities.
Yeah, look, we might put the link up to Orange 360 because they've had their Cool Summers campaign on as well, and I know Caddy, who's been a previous guest here, is an absolute dynamo in that tourism space. I guess another question that's of interest to me is, how has the evolution of the Airbnbs, house sharing kind of sites, has that changed how you've had to the offerings that you guys have to present as Quest and as a hotelier?
Absolutely. So Airbnb, like all disruptors, like the Uber it was to the taxi industry, I think it's important for us to be really mindful of what they're doing and how they're playing in the hotel space or the accommodation space. I think for me, my advantage is that I'm a fully self-contained hotel, so with all the bells and whistles. So if you want room service, if you want a small meeting room, if you want concierge facilities, we've got all of that. And so when I'm focused on what my core business is, which is the extended stay corporate traveller, that's often what they're looking for. And I think in a lot of cases it comes down to the relationship. Quite often or not, I find myself on the reception desk of an evening checking in the person, and I think it goes a long way when a guest can walk away and go, the business owner just checked me in and they just recommended I eat at Mr. Lim's or Raku or wherever it might be. That goes a really long way. So I think my biggest advantage is my people and being in the business, but also some people just like having their bed made every day. And especially for the corporate, say, in today's current climate, global pandemic, corporate clients need to be able to pull a report quickly and find out where every single one of their staff members are that are travelling. We've got the capabilities as a hotel chain and as a brand to be able to provide that.
And yeah, look, you do have some great services here. We're in the business lounge this morning. It's fantastic to have you on as our special guest. Now, we've talked about your move to the Central West almost 2 years ago. We've talked about the catalyst for that change. But what's surprised you the most about Orange and the Central West as a relative newcomer to our region?
I wouldn't say surprised, but more grateful. The way that the Orange community as a whole has welcomed me and has embraced me into the community has just been so lovely, and something that I will forever be grateful for. From the moment I arrived in Orange and started having meetings with potential clients or potential restaurants to set chargebacks up with, everyone had just been so welcoming, and then I had people that I'd literally been connected with over a coffee invite me into their homes for dinner with their family, and For me, I did a solo relocation, so I moved here by myself, not knowing anyone to start this business, and I moved away from everything I know and love, all my family and friends, to do this, to have people open their arms and open their homes up to me. That was probably the most lovely thing anyone could ever do.
Yeah, and I guess that's a good question. Segue for me then. So what have you learned about yourself?
Oh.
Going through that. I guess it'd be resilience comes to mind, because especially in the context of the pandemic and your business owner in a new town. Tell us about that.
I learned that I can't pour from a cup that is half full. So the self-awareness part for me has been a huge learning over the last 2 years. Recognising what my non-negotiables are to ensure my cup is full, to get the best out of my stuff. But I know myself, but also to get the best out of my team. There's no point me showing up and I'm exhausted and I haven't exercised or I haven't fueled my body with nourishing foods. So I've got non-negotiables in my life now that I've had to implement to ensure that I'm getting the best version of me, but I'm showing up as the best version of me for my people.
No, good point. And I guess as a leader, in a challenging time, your staff are going to look to you for guidance, and if you're not up and about, they're not going to be up
Exactly.
and about. So it's good.
Exactly.
Look, we're going to change pace and hit home with our fast five. Amy, 3 dream dinner guests.
Okay, I had Richard Branson,
Yep.
because I feel like that's really cliche, but I feel like he's so outrageous in his thoughts, and I always want to create an environment where my staff can come in and have outrageous thoughts and ideas, and we can then, workshop them and go, okay, what's the risk associated? Is it profitable? But I also love that he's a family man. His business values aside, his family values. I just think someone that can do family, business and life all in one is pretty remarkable. My second guest would be Lee Sales,
Yep.
ABC journo, wrote Any Ordinary Day.
So you can sit back and let her interview Richard and just enjoy your dinner.
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly. So I think she's phenomenal. And then my third guest would be Walt Disney, because I work with always work with a really open and curious mind, and I think he always did that. And I love his philosophy that no idea was bad, it just wasn't the right time.
Yeah, good.
And
I like
I'm a
that.
big believer in timing.
Okay, hidden gem in the Central West. So this might be a venue, a place, a location that you might show visitors or when family come up to visit you here in Orange.
I'm going to say Parrot Gin,
Okay.
because they, I think, rock, and they have such a great service offering, and they're a new and up and coming business, and I think people like that, bringing a venue like that into a region like Orange, it's really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll put their link up after this morning's chat, because it's a great way to showcase other successful local businesses. Now, you're in the holiday business, I guess. Have you got a personal nightmare holiday story that you can share with us this morning?
Not so much a nightmare, but I think my dad would consider it a nightmare. Dad had planned this surprise trip up. I'm one of 3, I've got 2 younger sisters, so there's 3 girls, mum and dad, and we're on a family holiday. Dad's instructions were, pack nice, but you only can bring 1 bag. Not really, we've got bags for shoes, we've got makeup bag, we've got a handbag, we've then got our clothes bag. Anyway, we are carrying on in the car. Dad completely loses it, going, girls, I've told you 1 bag. And we're like, why? We're just going to Melbourne. Dad's like, why do you have to ruin everything and know what's going on all the time? I'm getting you on a flight. We're all going to Tasmania for the weekend. You can pack 1 bag. And we all sat there going, oh my goodness, we are so naughty. Why can't we just follow instructions? We were all quite young at the time, but I always just remember going, okay, listen to Dad. Probably didn't need that extra pair of shoes.
So you had one set of clothes for the whole holiday?
Yeah, pretty much. So we could pack all the shoes and all the makeup.
Favourite holiday destination in New South Wales?
I grew up holidaying in Merimbula, so Merimbula holds a really special part in my heart. So I'd probably say Merimbula, but obviously Orange as well.
Of course, of course. Now, a local competitor that you think is doing great things and has a great offering in the Central West.
Yeah, not that I consider them competitors, because I think we all are offering something really, really different and really different experience as well. But Tom and Kristen from Bing Street Hotel and Espen from the Oriana, they are 3 of my favourite people in this community, and I think what the more that we can work together, the better it will be for the greater good. You know, we've all got bills to pay, we've all got rooms that need to be sold, and you know, for us to have the relationship that they go, hey, I've run out of pillowcases or I've run out of shampoo, can I borrow something? And we have that relationship. We catch up monthly for dinner. Their businesses are doing such wonderful things, and next year, Food Week, we're going to be doing, the three of us are going to be hopefully doing a progressive dinner between the 3 locations. So,
you heard it here first. Heard it here first. Look out, a scoop for the Business Leaders Breakfast. No, but I think you're right. It's something that came back up at the Back in Business Forum that you attended was, it was Pip Bradley said, we really need to kind of grow the pie. If everyone's doing better, then the flow-on benefits to the local businesses in the region are doing better. And I think that kind of flows into that collaboration amongst your sector, because if the experience of visitors is strong for Orange and the Central West, they're more likely to come back, tell their friends, and grow that cohort.
You're spot on, Sam, and I think looking at the hotels, we're all in town, we're all offering different price points, so different budgets for what you, but then different needs. So we look after a lot of families here because we've got 3-bedroom apartments, so you can sleep mum and dad and nan and pa and the kids quite comfortably. So I think the region will continue to grow if we're strong in our unity and working together.
That's a nice segue, because we've got some great tourist attractions here in Orange in the Central West. You know, be it the wineries, the food culture, the natural environment. But as someone who lives and breathes, I guess, the holiday market and interacts with tourists regularly, what do you think is another tourism offering that the Central West could really benefit from, or something that you've seen has recently kicked off that you think's got potential to go in?
So if I was planning my perfect world and my wish list, would be a day spa.
A day spa?
Yeah, I just think there's so many beautiful older buildings and quite large older buildings in town. How wonderful would it be for especially groups of women to be able to go and spend 4 hours at the spa having facials and having a nice plunge pool or high tea, whatever it might be. But I think a day spa would be spot on for this region.
Okay, watch this space. It might be your next business proposition.
Maybe.
Look, one of the things, I guess, as a new business owner, you probably had to draw on mentors to help you through your personal journey, professional journey. But what's a piece of advice that a previous mentor has given you that stayed with you and supported you through that process?
I have also always been really engaged in my own personal development and my own self-development, and one piece of advice that I was always trying to be so perfect and so rigid in the way I was doing things that I just was completely missing the point. And my mentor said to me one day, we were actually practicing public speaking, and I was trying to be so perfect and
well, it's
so
helped with the Business Leaders Breakfast.
Well, thank you. But I used to try to be so spot on with everything that I was saying. And, you know, quite often when you're talking from knowledge, it will flow quite easy, but when you're faking it, it can come across as well. And I guess the piece of advice that I got was, get out of your own way, Amy, get out of your own head and just be who you are, because you're wonderful as you are, and just like everyone is, but get out of your own way, get out of your own head. And I've always remembered that, and especially now when I have to have really tough meetings with staff or clients, or if I've had something go wrong in a room and I've had to have that really tough conversation, I've gone, who do I need to be right now to get the best outcome that I need? And just completely getting out of my own way.
Yeah, it's very sound advice. Now, just across the way from us here, there's been a number of kind of new additions to Kite Street.
Yes.
We've got the Ocean project that I believe has just opened.
Drinking from coffee cups today.
Exactly
in
right.
our business lounge.
Exactly right. So, but can you tell us what has that meant for your business, and I guess for this the activity of this part of the street, the Kite Street, your business?
Yeah, it's just meant the buzz when you walk into the hotel has just been, it's been really wonderful. So we now have an offering that people, a one-stop shop really. So you think that cold winter night when you arrive in Orange, you check into your nice warm hotel room, you're not really wanting to leave the building. We've now got an opportunity. In saying that though, as I mentioned earlier, my core client is the long stay extended corporate traveller. So they are looking for varieties. So within walking distance from us, we've got Moose Saloons, we've got the Parkview, we've got Sweet Sour Salt, we've got the Great Western Hotel right next door. We have a range of varieties that people can go and dine, and it's all at our end of town, which I love.
Yeah, absolutely, and I guess that's the one benefit of this Orange, it's the walking city. Everything's close, and you've got all those opportunities and offerings at your disposal.
Completely.
Now, before we finish up this morning, Amy, can you tell us what's your prediction, I guess, for Quest Orange and our region over the next 12 to 18 months?
Yeah, look, so we're in an ever-changing environment, so I think just being really mindful of the changing environment, but also the way we do business, and certainly for me, the way I do business, just being really mindful of that. But I think for Quest Orange, I had a team of 15 start with me when we first opened. I've still got 8 of them employed with me at the moment, so I've got a really good base of solid employees. I've got a team of 20 with me at the moment, which is wonderful. But I think we're really, for every single one of those team members are focused on the guest experience and the service delivery here. So ensuring that we're continuing that, moving in for the future. But I think Orange is also set up in a really good position at the moment. You know, sporting groups seem to be back. We've just confirmed the Giants and Thunder netball pre-season match here, which is amazing. As you said, Orange has just done that cool summer campaign, so I think we're really setting ourselves up in the right position for the next 18 months from a leisure perspective. But then the industries that are out here all seem to be really strong as well, you know, from mining to health to government. It all seems to be quite strong at the moment, so I think
I share your confidence.
Yeah,
I share the optimism. I think we've got a fantastic economic foundation here in Orange and the Central West. I think it bodes well for the future. Now, viewers and listeners that have tuned in this morning, what's the easiest way for them to engage with you to learn more about your journey and the Quest Orange if they want some more information after today's chat?
Yeah, sure. So this is probably my opportunity to plug. Please do not book on booking.com. Please do not book on Expedia. They are online travel agents that send all your money overseas. So always book directly, not just with me, but any hotel, Bing Street Hotel, Oriana, if that's where you're booking. Book directly, so the money's made sure it's staying on Australian shores for first and foremost. But obviously, I also love showing people through the hotel. You know, our local community may not ever have the opportunity to stay with us, but you would, I imagine, have visiting families and friends travelling. So call down any time. We'd love to show you through. I'd love to personally show you through the property and show you what we've got here in terms of our rooms and facilities.
Easy. We'll put your details up after this morning's chat, Amy. But it's been fantastic to
Thank you.
spend time with you this morning, learn about your journey to Orange and the Quest story here in Orange. But for everybody else, we hope you have a fantastic day, a great weekend. Tune in same time next week, and we'll catch you then. Thanks so much.
Bye.